What is up, bottom feeders? It is I, your favorite sludge tentacle abomination, Omammer, VT. That is right. Wait, did I remember to? Okay, good. I did hit the save button. Um, I think I may have accidentally not changed the starting thing until after I hit the go live button. But the good thing is I did remember to hit the button to actually save the changes to the title and category. So we're good there. We're good there. Um, anyway, yes, if you are unfamiliar with what is happening tonight, this is a stream. Welcome to twitch.tv. If it's your first time here, I am live streaming it. Sorry, I'll stop making it weird. Or will I? I won't. It's gonna be a weird one. Let me just make sure I've got all of my things here ready to go. Um, Sorry, this is a stream that had a lot of prep, and I'm not sure I finished all of that prep. Uh, so I'm double checking it. Um, Sorry, we'll be getting started here real soon, real fast. We gotta go fast, am I right? Well, we don't gotta, but we're going to go somewhat fast. Anyway, sorry about that. Not I love that I'm scuffed right here at the beginning. Let's see. I guess I should probably start with a quick rundown of what's going on, shouldn't I? So, I'm pulling up my resources. I have everything in place. So, I guess yeah. What if I try doing a YouTube intro here? I'm probably gonna cut it and replace it with a good intro later, but you know what? It's fine. What's up in sorry. What's up, YouTube? We're making character sheets tonight in City of Mist. Nope, that's not good. What's up, YouTube? We're putting character sheets in. Nope, that's not right either. What's up, YouTube? We're making character sheets for City of Mist tonight using VTubers. There, that'll have to do. I guess where's my screen? I'm not normally this scuffed, am I? I don't even know if this counts as scuffed. I'm just like not I don't have it all together quite yet. But anyway, so this is an RPG that I love a lot. City of Mist is a game where you play as investigators in a city full of secrets. And part of the reason that the city is full of secrets is you can kind of tell here just from the cover artwork. This is the old book, by the way. If you try and find this game now, you will not be able to buy this book. They split it into two books, and they charge $5 more for them. So I think I paid $60 for this. It's 70 for the whole set now. But you know that. uh, I mean, it was not a bad idea to split it, in my opinion. Like the player rules and the GM rules are both so in depth. Like they're not hard to learn, and they're not even really all that particularly heavy reads, but they are both so in depth compared to the average like Powered by the Apocalypse game that I think it kind of justifies the change. Anyway, so City of Mist is a game about investigators in this city with the mist. Please ignore the watermark at the bottom there. If I was all that worried about protecting my identity, I would have probably done something about that sooner. But my name's out there. Everyone knows who I am. Well, not everyone, I guess. But anyway, City of Mist is a game about. I'm I'm tripping over my words. Good damn it. Let me try this one more time. City of Mist is a city full of people with ordinary people who have gained extraordinary powers. You are investigators in a town where the supernatural legends, myth, folklore, folk tales, etc. They are real, they have power, and they want their story to be told. However, through some course of events before this story even began, they were all locked away behind a mist. They are completely cut off from our reality, except in this city. In this city, ordinary people are special, or something about the city is special. They are these legends, myths, etc., which we will summarize as mythos, are all beings who are capable of reaching out and interacting with people in some way. So anyone who is touched by a mythos could end up becoming a rift for that mythos. So you, ordinary Joe Schmo, going about your day, going about your life, right? And suddenly, boom, you're King Arthur. You've always been King Arthur. This has been your destiny from birth, right? But you're not really King Arthur, are you? No, you've had this whole life before this. That doesn't make any sense. I've got a wife and kids at home, right? I've got college classes in the morning. You have all these things that tie you to the person that you've always known yourself to be. But you also have this new aspect of yourself, this new oh, I'm also King Arthur from the King Arthur story, right? It's it's a very fun system to play around in, because if you are playing along at home and you're wanting to make a character for yourself, then you kind of have this dichotomy with your character. You have these two aspects that are in competition with each other almost. You have your mythos, which wants to tell the story of King Arthur or Robin Hood or The Little Mermaid or Peter Pan, or something along those lines, right? That is the core idea of the mythos. But also you have this other half of your character who is just an ordinary guy going about his life or her life or their life, and you have to try and balance that somehow. It is a very hard thing to balance, and the more you dig into it, the more impossible it becomes to remain human. But the more you ignore it, the more you ignore this part of you that's been there, that you now know about, that you didn't before. The more you ignore it, the weaker its grasp is on you. So it's really just that's what it is. And so I've got the core rules here. I've got Shadows and Showdowns. We've got the expansion. So that means that I have all of the theme books at my disposal. And I have 4 volunteers who asked me or approved of me making characters of them in City of Mist. So I think maybe the better way to do this is to just pull up this tab, because we can do them in order then. So first and foremost, if you watch the Monster of the Week stream where I did the same thing in Monster of the Week, we have Relay Riley coming back with Cassandra, her VTuber avatar, a tattoo artist vampire. Punk street artist before she was turned, runs a tattoo parlor where she protects her local neighborhood and trades at tattoos for information and favors. Also told me last time that we did this that Cassandra was abandoned by her sire, left to die. And so we have, honestly, a lot we can work with. Now, here's my favorite thing about City of Mist. Is a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games, they have these kinds of playbooks, right? We saw the playbooks last time. But we've got, sorry, I'm trying to find character creation so we can get started here. Boom, character creation. So, we've got these themes. The themes kind of each function like individual playbooks with their own separate and yet interlocked rule sets that they work with. And so these are split into two types, Mythos and Logos. Oh, we've got to the beginning here. Now, with this character, we've got a vampire, right? This is our vampire. So we need to come up with, we need to find a vampire thing. Rather than look for, like we would with Monster of the Week, for a singular playbook that fits this, we are going to instead look at the story cues that we've been given. So we know that she runs that she was a punk street artist. She currently runs a tattoo parlor, and we know she's a vampire. But also, we know, or at least I know, that she has this backstory of being backstabbed, right? And so what we can do is we can come in here and say, let's look at these. Adaptation. Adaptation can be a range of magical spells, adapting to harsh environments, shape-shifting or power copying, mysterious unpredictable force, elemental manipulation. Adaptation themes are basically an ability that allows you to adapt to your surroundings. It's a versatile power set that usually needs a bit of prep to work. I think that's what we're going to go with, but I've also got one other idea for just the basic vampire thing. Because this is a pretty common use of stuff, is expression. Expressions are basically the core expression of your mythos's power. So, Cassandra here would be the rift of a vampire, essentially. Or the starting out as the minion of a vampire, which is a thing you can do. You can make mini rifts of one rift. So like one rift can kind of make more rifts with the same power with enough time and practice. So that could kind of be how vampires work in City of Mist, if you wanted to play one. Anyway, so this is another one that is incredibly adaptable because like you can have your elemental or physical production, legendary strength, superior prowess, overpowering presence, or just like healing powers. Basically, it is the core way in which your mythos expresses itself. It is not a mandatory thing that you have to take, but it is kind of the best starting place if you don't have any other ideas on how to build your character. So I think that's what we're going to do with Cassandra. So I'm going to go ahead and just start filling this out. Player, I'll leave blank. Mythos, we have. And Logos. These text boxes were not set up great. So we're not going to worry about crew stuff right now. We're not going to get into build up. We don't have a crew theme or anything like that. So we just get to move on to the main meat and potatoes of this. And I'm going to go ahead and say this is the expression. Expression is a very good place to start if you aren't sure what your exactly how to build your power set. Like, there's a lot of ways you can go about it if you're wanting to make a character in City of Mist. The basic idea is that you have these aspects. You can know that you want to play a guy who has this kind of life, right? You can excuse me. You can know that you want to play as someone who has like a specific power set, or maybe you even have a specific mythos in mind. Any one of those is a perfectly fine starting point for building out the rest of your character. So the thing that you want to do if you want to have a lot of fun with this is that all of these are hypothetically anyway temporary. So like you could start with an expression theme, but it's possible you see all these here, they have attention and then fade or crack. These can be destroyed. All of these themes can be destroyed. If you mark 3 progress on this fade or crack track, then you will lose this theme entirely. And then you'll replace it with a new one. And when you do that, you get build-up points. When you get build-up points, you can get any one of these benefits. It is a really, really good move. Right? But it's a really sorry, what am I trying to say? It is a really good idea to make themes that will interact with each other in some way, maybe come into conflict with each other, because doing so gives you the opportunity to make characters that put their themes at risk of being lost. And when you put your theme at risk of being lost, that actually speeds up your growth as a character. It also means that you are not stuck with anything that you start with if you realize it's just not working for you, right? But anyway, we're going to start with an expression and we're going to kind of go through this. Think about your mythos. In Legend, was your mythos responsible for a major change in the world around her? Was she able to control an element or even create it out of thin air? Was she a great warrior or somehow able to influence others? How did she do that? Based on the legends, think about the answer to the questions below. So we're going to start with what change does your mythos want to affect in the world? Vampires vampires are kind of a thing that's like they're an undead, right? They want to feed. They want to they want to feed on people. They want to they want to do those kinds of things, right? They want to assimilate other people into becoming vampires. Maybe not everyone, but that's a possibility when you're dealing with a vampire, right? Um so these are some like sample ideas here. And honestly, they might be a reason to not start with with an expression and go with adaptation instead. Because adaptations are range collection set of it can control and or shape blank. It changes based on blank. I kind of think now. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I think maybe adaptation makes more sense than expression for the core like vampire thing, because vampires do have a range of abilities, right? They can shapeshift. They can drain your blood. They can move fast. So you have this thing that, like, basically it's a catch-all for a whole bunch of different things that one creature can do, right? So we have a vampire. Vampires are known for being able to do a lot of stuff, and they have a lot of well-known weaknesses, which will come up later. So I think, yeah, we're going to start with an adaptation. Now, when we're doing this, we have to think about, like, how does your mythos adapt to the circumstances? It has a wide range of powers, right? So, answer the first question, then choose two other questions to answer. What mythos power allows you to respond differently to every situation? And this is kind of like the core thing about what makes you a vampire, right? So everybody has to answer these questions. Every single theme is going to start you off with one question that you're required to answer, and then you have a bunch that you have the option to answer, but you have to answer 3 of them for your powers anyway. So answer the first question, then choose 2 more questions to answer. Answer each question with a single description, no more than a few words long. Describe something that will be useful to your character during the game. Each answer becomes a power tag. Write it on your theme card under power tags, along with a letter of the question. So, like, that's why we come over here, we say A is because we are required to answer A. What mythos powers allows you to respond differently to every situation? And that will be let's see. I don't know how to put this, like, I guess undead or unholy strengths. Something like that. So we have all of these different unholy strengths because we are an undead creature. So now we have other questions. What narrow group of effects within your mythos' domain have you mastered? What specific manifestation of your mythos is your favorite? What circumstances enhance your ability to adapt? What situations do you have a quick solution for or are accustomed to? What do your powers naturally protect you from? What attitude or emotion lies at the core of your adaptive powers? What specific class of things or beings can you produce or summon? What strategy or combination of effects do you employ in battle, or how can you enhance or weaken others with your powers? So, like, again, you can do a lot with a simple adaptation, right? So, I think something that stands out to me here is F. What do your powers naturally protect you from? Uh, so I think what do your powers naturally protect you from? You are nearly invulnerable. So like you have to do something specific to a vampire to stop it. In your lore, that could either be like cutting its head off, right, and burning the body. It could be driving a stake through its heart. It could be any number of things, right, that we've seen be effective against vampires. Somewhat effective, at least. So, I'm trying to decide now between D, what circumstances enhance your ability to adapt? Or I want to try and think of a way to make this, to add in like the ability to suck blood. And honestly, I might use a little trick here. But I'll get to that in a minute. Because there's two things I want to do. And I have the ability to do both. Even though I only have one slot left, technically. So what situations do you have? No, what is it? What circumstances enhance your ability to adapt? Let's say active at night, right? So the idea is like, vampires come out at night. They are stronger at night. Um, they are they are at their peak of power when it's nighttime, right? So now I know I just said that we have to have three, but I'm gonna choose a fourth one. And I can do this because when we get down to here, I can choose two weaknesses and still be allowed to have be allowed to take a fourth tag. So we're going to do that here. We can do that once per character sheet. So we can't do it with all these other themes, but we will be able to do it specifically with the adaptation theme. Well, we can do it with technically any of them, but I'm going to do it with the adaptation theme. I'm trying to think of how to do blood sucking now. How can you enhance or weaken others with your powers? That might be the answer right there. So let's say J, bloodsucker. There we go. So now we need a weakness. Weakness tag questions. Choose one question to answer. Well, we're going to choose two. What are your powers of adaptivity dependent on? What results are harder for your mythos to achieve? What hinders your mythos or limits its possibilities? What bad habits did you pick up due to your adaptive powers? So, what hinders your mythos or limits its possibilities? Sunlight. Now, we have a couple things that we can do here. So like vampires have that weakness, right? Or like they're nearly invulnerable, but if you do this one specific thing to them, they go down for it, right? So, okay, actually I think here's how we're going to do this. So what are your powers of adaptivity dependent on? Uh so we're stronger at night, right? But like if you I'm trying to think of how to say this, but like so the less sunlight there is, the better, right? So a new moon would be the peak of power for a vampire. So um I'm trying to think of how to say this. Dependent upon dependent upon dependent upon Man, I can't think of how to say this. Okay, I know though for the other one, what hinders your mythos or limits its possibilities? Um, Weakness, stake through heart. Um, Here, let's make this readable. And now, let's just say dependent upon. I just said, okay, wait a minute. Is this an answer to the question? What are your powers of adaptivity dependent on? The new moon. Yeah, that's an answer to the question. And then C, what hinders your mythos or limits its possibilities? A weakness, stake through the heart. Yeah, I think that's as good as it's going to get. Extra tags. If you have not done so in other theme books, you may choose one additional power tag question and one additional weakness tag to answer. We've done that here. All right, mystery. Choose a mystery for this theme. A question that your mythos wants to explore, investigate, or discover the answer to. Could be related to your powers, your legend, or your mundane life. So if I knew more about Cassandra, then this might be an easier thing to mention, but like let's see. Trying to think of how to, because what I'm thinking is like we could potentially use the we could potentially use the sire, right? But like, is it a where is my sire? What or like where is my sire now? Was I abandoned? Why was I abandoned? Um, that kind of thing. I think without better like understanding. Where is my sire now? And now for the interesting part, the theme title. Name your theme in a way that name your theme in a way that encapsulates its nature and style. Write its name on your theme card under title. Um, so usually you want these to be kind of like catchy but understandable. So maybe we could say this is a creature of the night, and I feel like that's fairly accurate for what we've come up with, right? Yeah, yeah. Now, the other thing here we've got some other notes here to go off of. Punk street artist before she was turned, and she runs a tattoo parlor. I feel like we could make something out of these. Specifically, the tattoo parlor. I'm pretty sure I can turn that into new rules, new theme books. Here we go. Turf. This isn't the turf page. What the heck? Here's the turf page. So, stop zooming. Okay, so turf is a place that you control It is a place that is yours, and everyone who goes there knows that you're in charge. That's the key thing, is that everyone there knows that you're in charge. So, we come back to our character sheet here. Then we can turn this tattoo parlor into our turf. Think about your character's modern day life. Is she a leader, ruler, or an unofficial who presides over her own domain? Does she work in a specific neighborhood? Is there an area or field in the city that is under her control or guidance? I'd say so, yes, this tattoo parlor. What area or domain do you control? That's A. My tattoo shop. What does it take to rule your turf? What do you know best about your turf? Who in your turf follows your orders? What routine or activity takes place there? What resource is abundant there? Where is your seat of power located? How do you hurt those who encroach on your territory? What advantage do you have over your competition? How do you monitor the goings on in your turf? So she said that she trades in secrets, right? Information and favors. And she uses this place to protect her local neighborhood. So, what routine activity takes place in your turf? What resources abundant? What resources abundant? I think, yeah, let's start there. F. Information. Information and secrets. And then what? How do you monitor the goings on in your turf? J. Here's how I'm going to do this. Trading favors. And now we need a weakness. What kind of trouble typically haunts your turf? What negative behavior or quality did you develop in your role as a leader? Who or what undermines you? Who, what, or where is outside your turf? I feel like D is an easy answer to this one. It's a small territory. Maybe a very small territory. That makes sense, right? Now, we don't get to do extra tags here, so we get to come up with our identity, though. Choose an identity for this theme. An absolute statement that captures the attitude, motive, or belief related to your turf. So, Mythos themes have mysteries. Logos themes have identities. Basically, this is a thing that keeps you from just completely giving in to the will of your mythos and enacting their will on the world. As long as you have a logos theme, you have an identity. As long as you have an identity, you are not entirely your mythos. You can become just an avatar of your mythos. That's a totally like valid thing you can do. It is supposed to be a temporary state. And in the same vein, you can also totally lose all of your mythos themes and become what's known as a sleeper, in which case you will either be recruited by the gatekeepers, or if you want to keep playing the character, you will eventually gain a new mythos. Because here's the thing about sleepers, they cannot see the fantastical stuff that is going on in the city. It's not possible for them to see it. They don't notice it. they subconsciously but intentionally ignore it or something. If you don't like if you don't have that part of you, if that you don't have part of that in you, you just ignore it. And even people who are like fully awakened to the effects of the mist, they can see right through it. They are not like strong enough, even in their avatar state, to bring themselves to ask, where does the mist come from? There's an answer to that question, and it's in chapter 4 of this book. The answer is the gatekeepers. They're doing it. And they're doing it for good reason too. Like there's an event called the Riot that can happen in your game, and it is the entire reason for the gatekeeper's existence to prevent the riot from happening. Because the riot would basically just mean that the world of Mythos burns our world to the ground, trying to tell their stories all at the same time. Anyway, so we need to choose an identity here. An absolute statement that captures an attitude, motive, or belief related to your turf. And I think the easy answer here is like she said, where's my, there it is. She uses her the information trading she does here, right? She trades tattoos for information and favors, and she uses this to protect her local neighborhood. So, I think the easy thing to tie in here is just I must protect my neighbors. Boom, easy. And now, title. Cass's tattoo and info brokerage. There we go. There we go. That's how we do it. That's how we're gonna do. Now, for the next theme, she also said that she was a punk street artist before she turned. And I think there's a Logos theme in the core book that'll be perfect for that. One moment, I'm not going to scroll through all this. Logos themes. I guess we can't get more specific than that. Okay. I could have sworn we could. Where did it take me? Did it take me? Heck. This is a big section of this to not be very well indexed. Not defining event. We'll get to that in a minute. Not defining relationship. Mission. Nope. Mission's very different. Possession. Is that what this is? Possessions? Yeah. We'll probably come back to some of these later. Routine. No. Routine and training are very similar, but training kind of implies that you did this in the past and may not still be doing it, or even if you are, it's not like a part of your daily life. Routine means that it will be part of your daily life. So like if they didn't add the turf theme, then this would have been where we put that. As we would have made the tattoo parlor part of the routine. But instead, we're going to make it, I think it's the very next one, a training. Yes. Education, combat or martial arts training, jack of all trades, internship or apprenticeship, life experience, field record, or something that you've researched. So, for this one, what is your field of expertise? In the past, I did street art. Answer the first question, blah, blah, blah. What do you know? What do you do or know best? And let's see, we've got street art. Just plain and simple. We know that, but we know that really good, maybe better than anyone else we know. Wrong one. Now, we've got other questions here. Within your field of expertise, at which specific skill or subject do you excel? What other tangent field have you ventured into indirectly? What move, method, maneuver, habit, or trick did you pick up during your training? What quality or trait did your training foster? Name a teacher, trainer, or fellow trainee that you can rely on for help. What piece of equipment relating to that do you normally have access to? Who is it effective against? Under what condition is your technique best? So, what other tangent field have you ventured into indirectly? As I think potentially a good answer to this. Because as a street artist, you kind of have to get in and out without getting caught, right? Because like if you get caught, then that'll be a problem. So the whole idea of street art is you do street art without being caught doing street art. So we can make that probably B or C. What other tangent field have you ventured into indirectly? Let's say, yeah, I'm just going to call this C. Avoiding. Why are these so much bigger than these? Avoiding detection. What quality or trait did your training foster? Let's give her a good investigation option here. Eye for details. Boom. There's your street artist theme. You notice the little things sometimes. What is the most problematic flaw in your sorry. These are our weakness tags. What is the most problematic flaw in your technique? How did your training adversely affect your psyche or body? Who is after you due to your prominence in the field? Name a flaw unique to a specific move or method you described in your power tags. So who is after you due to your prominence in the field? Maybe the police? So like vampires are usually a little older than they look, right? So it could be that there's some arrest warrants out for her from the last decade or 2 or 3 decades ago, right? I don't actually know how old Cassandra is supposed to be. But we could just say some old arrest warrants. I can't fit all that. Because it's so much bigger than the other text, I'm just going to have to say outstanding warrants, I think. Let's see. And now we need an identity for this. Choose an identity for this theme. An absolute statement that captures an attitude, motive, or belief related to your training. Nothing is more important than my freedom. These are examples. No one can ever see the real me is a one for the spy. City architecture. I must tell you just one more detail about that building. Got the Ted Mosby up in here. I'm sorry, Cassandra, you are not Ted Mosby. That is mean of me to say. And I anyway, also it's completely unrelated to the current thing. I think the decent answer here, just because of what else has happened in her life, right, is that art has helped me survive. So like that's a thing. This matters to me because it has helped me survive so far. And now let's name it. Name your theme in a way that encapsulates your proficiency or style. Um, and we want this to be something pithy but descriptive. Um, what about my other art? Because like she's a tattoo artist by trade now, right? But she also has this my other art career. There we go. There we go. All right, now for the last one. I've got a couple options here. First off, we could probably make a defining event out of the backstory that she was abandoned by her sire as a vampire, right? The only reason I hesitate to just go for that one right here right now is it's allowed. Don't get me wrong, this is totally allowed, but it kind of feels like cheating whenever I see it come up. That like you use something from your mythos life to create a new human aspect. Again, totally allowed. I'm not like actually saying that you can't do this. I just hate to do it with certain I guess for this one it's not really a problem unless I make it one. Cuz like one of the original pre-generated characters for City of Mist was a character named Kit. Kit was a kitsune who was born in the like mythos side of the city, right? It had never once set foot in our world. Then it fell in love with a human boy, and it took on the form of a teenage girl to go to the same high school as him. So like it completely made up a human identity when it crossed over from through the rift. It passed through like all by itself without a rift, and then it kind of just assumed a human identity in order to be with a boy that it liked. So it's totally allowed to create something that's tied to your mythos somehow, because some of these characters may just be pure mythos who are corrupted on their journey to our city, right? Wait, I think that's what I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let's go back up here to this is gonna be one of the first ones. Defining event. Think about your character's modern day life, particularly their past. Where did she come from? Where did she go? No, that's not what it says. What did she do? So, what happened to you that changed your life forever? Um, so turned into a vampire and then abandoned by my sire, right? That's a pretty well like that's a life defining event right there. In fact, that might be two separate life defining events tied to the same phenomenon. So, what kind of strong emotion do your defining event leave you with? Um, this has got to be something that we can use. Maybe distrust of vampires, or I think kind of like if we look at the rest of her life, a desire to be better than that, right? So maybe instead of all that, it's a desire to be better. There we go. Uh, what part of your old self, while deeply changed, still serves you? What mundane but useful object did you obtain during your defining event that has been with you ever since? What authority was vested in you during your defining event or after it? Who did you bond or connect with in the aftermath of your defining event? What skill or mundane ability did you pick up during or due to your defining event? And see, this is why it gets tricky, because like a lot of the stuff we picked up during that was vampire stuff, which we've already dedicated a whole other theme to. What approach to life did you adopt following your defining event? Or how do people treat you? What part of your old self was deeply changed still serves you? So like we have this background as like a punk street artist, right? Um so I actually I think it's gonna be like uh this is B, right? Yeah. In fact, this defining event may have increased her sense of being anti-authority, right? Right? What mundane but useful object did you obtain during your defining event that has been with you ever since? What authority was invested in you? Who did you bond with? What skill or mundane ability did you pick up? What knowledge did you gain access to thanks to your defining events? Um, I think okay, I kind of like what knowledge did you gain access to thanks to your defining event, because like again, who knows how long you were a vampire? Like you could be decades old, right? And still look like you're in your early 20s or however old this is supposed to be. So like why is beyond question mark my years. There you go. There you go. Now, weakness tag questions. Choose one question to answer. Answer it with a single description, no more than a few words long. What emotional scar or baggage did your defining event leave you with? Following your defining event, what responsibility or social burdens do you have to shoulder? Or what is haunting you because of your defining event? What is now. Okay, I think this is an easy one to go with. Like, because D is like, you literally cannot be human anymore. Like the ability to live a just kind of mundane life was stolen from you with this one. If you have not done so in another blah blah blah. Okay. Choose an identity for this theme. An absolute statement that captures the attitude, motive, or belief related to your defining event. For example, I will never forgive myself. Uh, blah, a worldview that you adopted following your defining event, something you promised yourself or someone else following your defining event, how you perceive yourself in light of your defining event. So, let's see. I want like I think it all comes down to this, right? She wants to be better than the she wants to be a better guardian than the one that she had. I'll be the guardian I needed back then. That, I like that. Yeah, that's good. Now let's name it. Name your theme in a way that encapsulates the event or its impact on your life. Let's call it a discarded creation. And that's our defining event. Yeah, this is good. This is good. And that is one character out of the way. Cassandra, the vampire tattoo artist. All right. Let me go ahead and save this out. Sorry, my folders are a mess. I have not cleaned up. Some of those downloads are from the old computer, and I just have not cleaned out my download folder yet. So, there's one down. I shouldn't have closed that, should I? It's fine. I was going to have to reopen it anyway. Anyway, so who's next on our list? We've got Goopy again. Goopy was also included in the original, like, Monster of the Week VTuber Character Sheets stream, which, by the way, I have just, well, I've still got a few things I'm tweaking, but I am almost done with the video I made from that stream. It'll be another kind of long one, another 45-minute one. But I think if you like how to make a literal cat in your favorite RPG, you will like that video. So it's worth your time to watch it. So, Goopy is a slime girl. She runs a casino. So, yeah, we can kind of work from that. If you remember from last time, her deal is kind of that she more or less ate the casino and now runs the place. But she also told me some additional details here. She's a slime girl that works in a magic casino. The casino is magic. I didn't know that before. And it curses people when they lose. Maybe. Allegedly curses people when they lose. So there is in the same book where they introduced the turf. Wrong one. They also introduced the Enclave, which is basically magic turf. The idea with this is less that it's a place where you hold like social power like the turf is, and more that it is a hideout, a domain that belongs to you. You don't necessarily have to share it with someone. Although it would be a completely rules as written, just completely allowed thing to just straight up make Narnia your enclave, the entire nation of Narnia as your enclave. You could do that. It would be allowed. You could be the Rift of Aslan and have the ability to just go to Narnia. Fun fact for you. Anyway, so the Enclave is, yeah, kind of like that. And that's where we're going to start with Goopy. So first off, Goopy is the mythos. Mythos is Slime Girl, Logos is Casino Manager. Now, it's not quite that straight, that clear cut, but we're going to run with it, right? Just because that's the easy, like, breakdown of things. This is the ordinary life kind of thing. Even if it's not tied to an ordinary life, it is the most ordinary life thing that she's got going on. So we're using it. Now, to start with, let's make our enclave, because I feel like that is the the defining thing here. So our concept. What location serves an important role in your mythos? It's the kingdom or realm of blank. It's a unique building, the blank. It's a hidden magical or symbolic place, the blank. It's blank, a place which represents power, or it's blank, an alternate dimension. Well, we have a magic casino that curses its losers, right? So, what or where is your enclave? A magical casino. Um, what is most useful about your enclave? How can you access it quickly, discreetly, or whatever? What protects it? What are the magical or supernatural properties of your enclave? What activities your enclave best support? Who resides in your enclave? What can you learn in your enclave? What atmosphere or emotion pervades your enclave? What item, skill, or quality do you keep when you leave the enclave? Very good questions. So, I think the idea with the enclave is that it's something that you should have easy access to. So some people might even just be able to like teleport to their enclave. Or if you wanted to literally make Narnia your enclave, you could hypothetically make it so that you could pass through any wardrobe and immediately be there, right? But we have some questions here that I think we can answer. Um, what is most useful about your enclave? Passive income. Now that may not literally be money, as we know, but it could be something. Anyway. Uh Now, what activity does your enclave best support? Gambling. Who resides in your enclave? Gamblers. Uh what atmosphere or emotion pervades your enclave? Uh risk taking. I kind of like what item, skill, or quality do you keep when you leave the enclave? As like I don't know how to put this, but like um a winning smile just sounds like too simple, right? Hmm. Maybe that's not the best question to answer. Um Maybe E is the better thing to answer here. What are the supernatural properties? It curses its losers. There. That'll work. Now, on to our weaknesses. What is the Enclave's biggest flaw? What happens when you spent too long in your Enclave? Who is trying to access your Enclave, destroy it, or escape from it? What could hinder you from accessing your Enclave? Hmm. I don't actually know. I was gonna say like debtors, people who owe debts to the casino from their curses, but like I don't want to turn that into a negative. Uh But there would be probably the truth is a lot of people would probably be trying to escape their debts. Uh, what happens when you've spent too long in your enclave? Maybe we could go like full Lair of the Lotus Eaters from the Percy Jackson movie, right? And it's like, oh, you lose track of time. There we go. There we go. Now, I don't think we're gonna do extra tags for this one. Uh, so choose a mystery for this theme, a question that your mythos wants to explore, investigate, or discover the answer to. Um, I think let's say, am I really running the show? Because it's like, if this thing has so much power and she just kind of stumbled into it, is she really running the show? If it kind of was operating before she got there and it's continuing to operate the same way now that she's there, is she really the one in charge? I feel like that's an interesting mystery to explore, right? Name your theme in a way that encapsulates its nature and style. Write your name on your theme card under title. Um, I don't know. The Den of Misfortune. Or I don't know, maybe not. Den of Misfortune is good, I think. So now we have this other pretty obvious mythos thing going on here, right? This is a slime. This is a slime. Uh, so I think we've got honestly a Bastion. Sorry, scrolled too far. But I think it's no, second one. Bastion. Conjure armor or a shield, invulnerability, magical protection, immunity to various harm, an unbreakable body, will, or soul, untouchable by the law. I think having a very flexible, sludgy body, not speaking from experience or anything, surely, but having that kind of form might protect you from certain types of damage. Like, I don't know, piercing or bludgeoning. Just hypothetically. You might be a little more resistant to fire. Hypothetically. So, answer the first question. What quality or ability granted by your mythos most often protects you? Um, so this is a bastion. Body made of slime. That is what protects you the most. What means do you have of extending your protection to others? Not necessarily useful here. What particular trait of your defense makes it useful? Against what type of attacks or influence is your defense especially effective? How can you use your defense actively? What secondary defense effect does your defense have? Who or what were your powers protect? How can you use the defense to change odds in your favor? What tactics do you employ when you use your defense? I can think of an answer to a lot of these. I think the obvious one is D. What type of attack or influences is your defense effective against? Uh, excuse me, sorry. Body made of slime, physically invulnerable. Um, let's see. And now, how can you use your defense to change the odds into your favor? I kind of like this one as like, this would be a good way to like say, okay, well, my body is not a solid thing. I can change its shape. Uh, so shape shifting. You know, some people could make an entire theme out of shape shifting. We're just making it a single tag, which is fine, right? Now for weaknesses. A lot of obvious weaknesses here, probably. Where's the weakness? There it is. Okay. So, how do your defensive powers affect your appearance? Obviously not human. What are the unwanted implications of your defense? To what attacks is your defense susceptible? What personality trait derived from your defense gets you into trouble? I kind of want to take two of these. I want to take A and C. Because I want to be able to say that, like, okay, we are immune to physical damage, but not necessarily all types of magical damage. Or, like, I don't know, if someone tried to set us on fire, we might dry up. Or if somebody tried to, you know, do some, like, hit us with lightning magic, then that would certainly hurt us. Um, let's see. So, yeah, how do your defensive powers affect your appearance? Transparently not human because her model is transparent. I don't know if you can set cut. Yeah, okay. Here's a good picture. Actually, the other one's probably a bit better at it. You can kind of see her hair through her arm here because she's like got the body's transparency set. Not like the opacity is turned down, so she's not 100% like she's somewhat see through. Is the point? So transparently not human. And then C. To what attacks is your defense susceptible? So we got physically invulnerable, but magically vulnerable. And now let's choose one more. Whoops. Now let's choose one more power tag. Um, let's see. How can you use your defense actively? Um, okay. I here's one we can do. So E. You could smother someone, right? If the you could absorb and smother someone. Because when you shapeshift out of your like When she shapeshifts out of the human-ish form, then she could technically she ate the casino to begin with, right? That's how she got it. So she could probably do the same thing to anything else, including people. Boom. There we go. Now, on to our mystery. Choose a mystery for this theme, a question that your mythos wants you to explore, investigate, or discover the answer to. You can try exploring the following options. Wondering who or what you are meant to protect, questions about the threats you are meant to stop, a dark desire to find out what could be your undoing. Let's see. Maybe it's like, do I need to... Like, I don't know. Uh, does something else want the casino? Or, okay, maybe I shouldn't phrase this in a way that's more about protecting. Um, what might be after my casino? That's a pretty good mystery. And the idea of the mystery is this is how you level up your character, by exploring your mystery. There's a lot of ways to level up your character, actually. But, I don't know if I said that before. You level up your character basically by advancing your plot lines. So with your identities, the more you engage with your identity, the more you are this human person, the more attention you give to your theme. Every time you mark 3 attention, you clear it, and then you take an improvement. That could be a new power tag. That could be some other improvement, because we've got, one moment, I can just show you the improvements here. So we've got these other improvements that are like unbreakable. When you face danger with power tags from this theme, it's dynamite. Or got your back. When you burn a tag in this theme for a hit in order to face danger affecting you or your allies, allies who can benefit from your protection don't roll face danger, but use your result instead. Or sacrifice. Oh, hi Lucy. Hi there, Lucy the Crow. Uh, thank you. I know I love this game so much. When like sacrifice. When you get hit on face danger, you can always choose to extend the outcome to one person or object around you that you can protect at the cost of exposing yourself. Anyway, did I finish this theme? No, wait, we still have to come up with a title. Jumping ahead of myself a bit. Also, we're not worrying about uh we're not going to worry about the written improvements because this is just character creation, right? Um you've wanted to play for a while. This is genuinely my favorite RPG. I ran a game for 3 summers in a row. It was a lot of fun. So, name your theme in a way that encapsulates its nature and style. Write its name on your theme card under title. Um so I don't know how we can get better than body made of slime, but like uh yeah. Yeah, I the free rules are a nice little little treat. I got the act they updated it. So my copy is now out of date, but like I got the like original Ashcan like rulebook that came with all those like posters of the pre-gen characters. Um back when the game first came out. Yeah, it was nice. Now, everything in that Ashcan edition at this point is basically wrong, but it was really cool and I still have all those posters. Uh so I'm trying to think of a good way to like play off the slime thing. I okay, so Goopy is a VTuber whose lore is that she kind of ate. She was a non-sentient slime. She ate a casino, became a sentient slime. The casino has this thing to it where it can curse people if they lose. That's what she says here. So that's kind of the lore we've got to work with. Uh, I'm really struggling to think of a way to phrase a like. Hmm. Yeah, slimy is the right word, but like I want to come up with a descriptor for it. Yeah, slimy. Maybe it's just like slimy management because she runs a casino. I feel like I'm making her like into a worse person than she than she like is in her lore, but like it's what I got to work with, right? These are the cards her mythos has dealt her. This would honestly make a baller Otherscape character because in City of Mist you can only have one mythos source. In Otherscape, they've made it so you can have multiple mythos sources. In fact, you could have all four themes be entirely different sources of mythos. What do they call it? Like a conduit is the name of that type of character. I'm gonna have to do Otherscape eventually as well. That game is also so much fun. It's this, but with a cyberpunk reskin, and they have taken like everything that they learned from making this and Queers and kind of perfected the system. A slimy deal? Oh, that's good. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right. Now we need at least one logos theme. And then for the last one I might have to make something up. Actually, did I talk to her about this? I could yeah, okay. I actually said to her that I could make it a bastion, an adaptation, or both. We might have to go with an adaptation. Something that's just like maybe fully leaning into the shape shifting. In fact, I might delete this and like come back over here and be like adaptation, like a reshapeable, like make her like reshapeable, and then we delete this and put something else here. So I've got some other ideas. Also, did I have? There we go. But for now, I want to come up with a logos theme. This one's gonna be tricky. Actually, it might be pretty easy. We just continue leaning into what we've got, right? For her specifically, I think it's gonna be tricky. Um, no, I've got an idea. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use routine. Where is it? Routine. Because this lets us just like make up something that this person does in their day to day, and how that comes into play when they're investigating with it. So, routine, a job or occupation, political position, role in an organization, responsibility over someone, time consuming hobby, daily survival, bumming around, school, or criminal activity. I think managing a casino is a thing that's going to take up a lot of your day. So, like, I take care of the Magic Casino, right? Yeah, she has a role in an organization, and she, as far as she know, yeah, being the house. As far as she knows, she's the only one running the show. Although I've made that the thing here is like, am I really in charge here? Or am I just like the current face of it? So we can lean into this though, right? What do you do with your time? Uh, Casino manager. It is forever gonna bug me that that third one has bigger text box or a bigger font in the text box than the ones over here on and on this one. So, what privileges come with the territory of what you do? What sort of tools do you use? Who usually helps you? What do you learn on your daily activities? What specific activity do you engage in as part of your main occupation? Right? What trick have you picked up doing what you do? What quality do you now possess because of your routine? Where do you carry out your routine, or where do you go to escape it? What brings you to the same place every day? So we've kind of established that like the casino curses the people who lose in it, right? So that curse is probably like some form of debt, like cosmic debt to the casino. And I bet she has some way of using that. So this might be where we get to bring that into play. That's the perk of managing the casino. Um I'm gonna have to make this 2 lines. It's too big. Or maybe I just make it the here, we'll put yeah, see? Over here if it's on 1 line. So A, B, and then we'll erase this and use this for the last one. Because I've got an idea for that one too. I've actually got an idea for that now that I've kind of scrolled through mentally the logos theme, or not the, yeah, the logos themes, and I think I can make a second logos theme. So anyway, let's finish our routine first. What sort of tools do you use? Who helps you? What did you learn? I'm the manager. Yeah. I'm in charge. Uh okay, I like this one. G. What trick have you picked up doing what you do? The house always wins. There we go. Knows how to rig the game in her favor. Now, what about weaknesses? At the end of the day, what are you left with? What are the mundane limits or downsides of your routine? Stack the deck. Oh, that's better. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I know how to make a character in this game. I know how to make it sound clever when I am writing the power tags and theme titles. I'm very good at making them very clever now. I've had 3 years of experience at it. Actually, more at this point. Oh, you just noticed the emote? Yeah, that's a 7TV emote. um, what are the mundane limits or downsides of your routine? Um, I feel like this would take up a lot of time. So like that might be a limit. Is like being the only staff, it takes up a lot of your time. The only real staff is me. All right, so now we need an identity. Choose an identity for this theme, an absolute statement that captures the attitude, motive, or belief related to your routine. How do you feel about your routine? Why do you hold on to your routine? What do you need to believe to carry out your routine? Maybe just, it's nice to be in charge. There we go. That'll work. And now let's title it. I am the manager. That's the title. That's what we do. That's what we do. Okay. Now, on to that last one. The idea that I had, I think it's just right up here, right? Nope. One more. Come on. Personality. And I already know what I'm going to call this one. A winning smile. Because the idea is that, like, it's that you have the charisma, the, like, people reading skills, the like, the drawing people in ability that, you know, your typical, like, they want people to have at the casino, that, like, they want you to like the guy that you're interacting with enough to trust him until he fleeces you. So, what lies at the core of your personality? Let's see. People pleaser. Yeah, let's say people pleaser for the core thing. What is the first things people notice about you? What interpersonal skills do you have thanks to your personality? When you want, you can also come across as, what special skill or status did you pursue because of your personality? What aspect of your personality keeps you safe or helps you resist influence? What quality or item best expresses your personal style? What useful habit or routine have you cultivated thanks to your personality? What typically interests you, and how do you strive to improve yourself? So what interpersonal skills do you have thanks to cold reading? You know, the most important ability for any confidence artist or con artist, however you want to phrase it. What what aspect of your personality keeps you safe or helps you resist influence? Good at people let their guard down around me, right? Poker face is good. Poker face is very good, actually. That might be better than my thing. Yeah, that's F. That's very good. Thank you. Thank you. Weakness tags. Let's see. What happens when you let yourself go too far? What sort of people or conditions make your personality? Sorry. What sort of people or conditions make your personality less effective? What aspects of your appearance, style, or physique can get in the way? What happens when you are pushed to the corner? Call your bluff. Oh yeah, like someone who's able to see through con artists. Yeah, that would be the thing that stops any con artist, is someone who can see through the scheme, right? Well, not necessarily. Like if you're pretty good, you can still work with that. But like, oh, you know they're onto you, but like, do they know what they're onto? But still. I like that. Called bluff. That's pretty good. Now we need an identity, and then we're done. Choose an identity for this theme. An absolute statement that captures an attitude, motive, or belief related to your personality. You can try the following options. A typical quote that encapsulates your personality, how you would like others to see or treat you, what you think about yourself. Right? Once you understand how the character creation works, like you can't stop yourself. You will be thinking about not only how to make characters, but how to specifically use your favorite like story characters in this game. Like I have thought of do you know the VTuber Porcelain Maid? I have given a lot of thought before I even knew who he was. Like there was a podcast I listened to where someone did like a haunted doll watch, and so I came up with like a joke character that was a haunted doll. And then not too long ago, I don't have it on this computer unfortunately, so I can't pull it up right now. But not too long ago, I started following Porcelain Maid, and I pulled out that old haunted doll character sheet and adapted it for him specifically. It was great. Yeah, you will never stop thinking about ways to make certain characters. It rules. Um, but anyway, mystery or identity. I think this might be the like make everything you consume it. That was that is what happens. You will be thinking about that. Like once you get into this, you're gonna be thinking about how that works, right? People let their guard down around me, I think is a pretty good identity here. And wait a minute, this is a personality theme, and this is a routine theme. There we go. Now we have our reference pages. Anyone can go look this up. All right, and then we're going to save this out as Goopy. And let's load it up a third time, because we are on to the third character of the night, Broto the Goblin. Knows nothing about City of Mist. Got curious to learn more about it. Broto, you know Broto? Awesome. I don't know. I don't know him very well, but like the uh anyway, you know of them? Okay. Yeah, that's fair. We're mutuals on Blue Sky, but you know, we haven't talked much yet. I say yet. It's my plan to eventually become friends with all my mutuals. uh been on their streams. Nice. Um yeah, here it is. I thought I saw this earlier and I came back and I was like, "Yes. I could easily make a theme out of literally every single aspect that he said about her character." Um also so Goblin would be just some mythos theme. And then logos, we've got all kinds of stuff here. Potion shop runner. Potion shop keep. Perfect, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the goblin thing. I actually don't have a good idea for what kind of mythos theme this would be, is the one problem. Um since we're trying to do one kind of thing that like encapsulates the entirety of goblinness, adaptation might work because that's what we did for vampire as well. Um Okay, it's not as simple as mythos is magic and logos is not magic. It is about what it means to you. Mythos is tied to the legend that empowered you. So, like you could be the myth or the rift of I'm trying to think of someone off the top of my head, and of course that means I'm drawing a blank. You could be the rift of I'm drawing a blank. The rift of King Arthur. Let's just go with that example again. You could be the rift of King Arthur. And what that gives you is like Arthur has all kinds of things going on, but it could be that the thing that you take from him, the power that you take from Arthur is leadership skills because he was a king. So like you could take leadership skills from King Arthur and that could be the core expression theme of your mythos. Is just leadership skills. Is a perfectly valid way to fill this out. I've seen someone do it. Um so it's not quite so cut and dry as like, oh, this is your magic stuff, this is your normal stuff. Because there's also people whose lives are so intertwined with the magic and supernatural that the thing that is keeping them human is also magic or supernatural. Me when I play Mr. Hugh, man. What are you trying to be a gatekeeper or something? Um, Kind of sounds like the name of a gatekeeper agent. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway, so I think though that since we're trying to encapsulate the whole like thing about goblinness in one theme, that adaptation will probably be the way to go. And if I'm wrong, then we'll figure that out along the way. Uh, Human is a go-to D&D one-shot character. Of course, they're a human fighter. Yeah, the basic, just the most basic man ever. I get it. I get it. Let's see. So we've already done an adaptation theme for Cassandra, but we'll go through the whole thing here. What mythos power allows you to respond differently to every situation? Um, so I don't know, small but mighty. What narrow group of effects within your mythos' domain have you mastered? What specific manifestation of your mythos is your favorite? What circumstances enhance your ability to adapt? What situations do you have a quick solution for or are accustomed to? What are your powers naturally protect you from? What attitude or emotion lies at the core of your adaptive powers? What specific class of things or beings can you produce or summon? What strategy or combination of effects do you employ in battle? How can you enhance or weaken others with your powers? Um, do goblins have any special powers, or are they just like little guys? One moment. No, you cannot have my location, Google. Why would you even want that? Just a little guy. Small, grotesque, monstrous humanoid creature that appears in folklore of multiple European cultures. Um, Conflicting abilities, temperament, and appearances depending on the story and country of origin. Ranging from mischievous household spirits to malicious bestial thieves. I think we're gonna go with the mischievous stuff, right? Kind of similar to a fairy or demon, such as the ability to shape. Oh, that's something to lean on, maybe. Similar in creatures include brownies are nice though, usually. Um, let's see. Kind of like little ugly elf guys, basically. So I think maybe we lean into like we got two things that I want to lean into here is like being small and being a little prankster. Is what I think we're gonna go with. So let's see. I think maybe what if we just say okay. So okay. I've got an idea. So we've already said here that she got engineer training, right? Wait, am I? No, I was right. He and she. Sorry, I'm anyway, what was I saying? Engineer training, right? So potentially within that, some tinkering and sabotage potential, right? So what narrow group of effects within your mythos domain have you mastered? Sabotage. Sabotage is good. Um um what enhances your stuff? What situations do you have a quick solution for or accustomed to? What do your powers naturally protect you from? Let's see. What specific class of things or being can you produce or summon? I kind of want to say, like, for H, I kind of like having a bag of tricks. You just got a little bag full of things that you can throw out, like, I don't know, caltrops or something. There we go. Now on to weaknesses. What are your powers of adaptivity What are your powers of adaptivity dependent on? What results are harder for your mythos to achieve? What hinders your mythos or limits its possibilities? What bad habits did you pick up due to your adaptive powers? I don't know, maybe takes things too far. Takes pranks too far. Feel like that'll work. Now we need a mystery and a title. Choose a mystery for this theme. A question that your mythos wants to explore, investigate, or discover the answer to. Could be related to powers, legend, or mundane life. I don't feel like there's much to go on for the legend, right? No question that we need to answer about the legend. So, powers, also probably not a rich vein. Well, they could be, I guess. I mean, this doesn't have to be like the core thing that like will drive character development for this character either. We could do something like, I don't know. Um Thinking. Maybe something like what how can I improve my potion shop? It's not really a rich vein for like character development, but we've got three other potential like mysteries and identities to work with. So I think it'll be fine. They don't all have to be winners. Some of these are not things that you necessarily want to put at risk of growth or losing, right? Because like you don't want to stop being a goblin. That's the core of the character, even if we're not dedicating that much space to it. So having it have like a boring plot hook actually kind of protects it a bit. If that makes sense. So then we got engineering and tinkering, tech gadgets, building random stuff. So yeah. I think I'm going to start with the turf for this one. Which, I know we made the tattoo shop the thing last time. This time it's going to be a potion shop. So, what area or domain do you control? A potion shop. Whoops, wrong one. What does it take to rule your turf? What do you know best about your turf? Who in your turf follows your orders? What routine activity takes place in your turf? What resource is abundant? Where is your seat of power located? How do you hurt those who encroach on it? What advantage do you have over your competition? How do you monitor the goings on? Did we make? Yeah, we made it. We finished. Oh wait, we forgot to name the adaptation. Um. No, I'm sorry. We can't do that. I'm sorry. We can't. We can't call it the Mind Goblin. Or can we? Let's see. No, I'm gonna have to come up with something else. Although I don't know. Maybe it is just. Maybe it is just Goblin. They don't all gotta be clever. I prefer them to be clever, but you know. Anyway, back to the turf. What area or domain do you control? We got the potion shop. What routine act? No, sorry, they're back down here. What does it take to rule your turf? What do you know best about it? Who in your? What resource is abundant in your turf? Uh, potions. What advantage do you have over your competition in your turf? I believe said here. I promise my products work. I gotta go with that for the answer to this. I think, Jay. My products work. That would give you an advantage over other potion shops if the implication is that theirs don't. All right, so what's our weakness? What kind of trouble typically haunts your the potion seller? I'm going into battle and I require your strongest potion. You can't handle my strongest potion. Just that one guy who always thinks he can handle a better potion than he actually can. What negative behavior or quality do you develop in your role as leader? Who or what undermines you? Who, what, or where is outside your turf? Guys, can I say who or what undermines you is the potion seller. I require your strongest potion. Can I can't do that, right? Surely, surely that's not gonna. That that's not a good weakness. Um, I could say though, like, okay, to cut the meme out of it, we what we can do is just say dissatisfied customers. That will work. Ow. So now for an identity. Choose an identity for the theme, an absolute statement that captures an attitude, motive, or belief about your turf. Um, let's see. Allergic to potions. I don't think we can. I don't think we can decide that. Um, but my potions are the strongest potions. There's an identity for you. Okay, okay. Wrong one. Now for a title. Let's see. Um, I I'm sorry. I keep thinking of the meme. I can't. The potion seller. I'm going into battle and require your strongest potions thing is like taking over my thoughts now. I this is not this is not good. Um, man, I a humble shopkeep. All right, now let's see. We've got a couple other things here. Gardening routine and engineer training is what I think we're going to go with next. So let's say routine and training. Boom. Perfect. Now, let's start with the routine. I'm on the wrong book. Here's the right book. Okay. So we need to find the routine first to make our gardening theme. What routine activity takes up most of your time? Tending my garden. So we got that going for us. What privileges come with the territory of what you do? What sort of tools do you use? Who usually helps you? What did you learn on your daily activities? What specific activity do you engage in as part of your main occupation? What trick have you picked up? What quality do you possess? Where do you carry out? What brings you to the same place every day? So I imagine if you're a gardener who owns a potion shop, I imagine that you would have a lot of ingredients on hand for everything, right? So you, the reason that this is good, I like this one because, not to veer off track too much, but excuse me, sorry. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up over here. Let me just where's the thing? Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the page on the site. It gives like there's a little cheat sheet for all the core moves. But the Son of Oak website does not seem to like want to load. So that's not great. Resources. Here it is. Player moves. That's a. Why did it pop over here? Whatever. Anyway, so we've got one of the core moves is called Change the Game. So Change the Game basically allows you to create some effect using your tags. So if you have ingredients on hand, then you could potentially just whip up a potion on the spot using the Change the Game roll. And then you can give someone like, I don't know, potion of iron skin, which will give them a +1 status that they can use when rolling to defend against physical attacks. Right? That's the basic idea. So, I'll keep this in the back. We'll get back to it when we need it. So, that's why I think that's not B. What is that? No, that is B. Never mind. And then what sort of tools do you use? Let's see. You've got all kinds of tools as a gardener. But like gardener's tools is a pretty good description. It's got a lot of things in it that you could potentially use for a lot of non-gardening things. Wink, wink. This model can't wink. I've got it set up to winking is off because otherwise it'll wink when I'm not trying to. Perks of using a $25 webcam when you're VTubing. It's okay, I got the Xbox One Connect. I can hopefully use it for facial tracking. That'll make things better. Maybe. Maybe not. I am so excited about that though because like I can actually like do some mocap stuff now. I got an Xbox 360 Connect forever ago to do mocap stuff with it, and I don't have enough room to use it. But the Xbox One Connect requires less room, so I might be able to actually use it for the thing I got the Xbox 360 Connect for. Also, yes, this does mean that I'll be making a Pepsi Man style Vroid model of me, just because I can, and I think it would be really funny. And I will mocap myself using it because I can, and I think it would be really funny. Anyway, weakness tags for a routine. Whoops, wrong one. At the end of the day, what are you left with? What are the mundane limits or downsides of your routine? Or what can interfere with it? What happens when you are thrown out of routine? What can interfere with your routine? I feel like it's kind of the same thing here. It's like the demands of running a shop may interfere with the gardening, even though the gardening helps you run the shop, right? So, I don't know, work-life balance. There we go. There we go. Identity. Choose an identity for this theme. An absolute statement that captures an attitude, motive, or belief related to your routine. How do you feel about it? Why hold on to it? What you need to believe to carry out your routine. Strong potions require strong base materials. Feel like that's a decent, answer to that. Now for a title. Name your theme in a way that encapsulates your everyday routine. Write its name on your theme card under title. So, Nature's Bounty. Seems like a fitting thing. And now on to the training. Which is down here, right? Training. Boom. Think about your character's modern day life. What is your field of expertise? I am a master of blank. In the past, I trained in blank. I have learned the art of blank. So we are a tinkerer. We're an engineer. We make things. Electronic gadgets. Answer the first question. What do you do or know best? Gadgeteer. Within your field of expertise, at which specific skill or subject do you excel? What other tangent field have you ventured into indirectly? What move, method, or maneuver habit did you pick up from training? What quality or trait? What quality or trait did your training foster? Name a teacher, trainer, etc. What piece of equipment related to your training do you normally have access to? Against who or what does your training give the best results? Under what conditions does your technique work best? What unusual new application of your training are you exploring? So within your field of expertise, at which specific skill or subject do you excel? I'm going to go ahead and answer this one with inventing. So this is a character who I feel like is going to be like a massive like support role character. Like you've got access to all these potions and raw materials. This character is going to be rolling a lot of change the games. Let's see. What quality or trait did your training foster? I'm going to say creative problem solving. And there we go. Boom. Now, onto weaknesses for training. What is the most problematic flaw in your technique? How did your training adversely affect you? Who is after you due to your the prominence in your field? Name a flaw or unique to a specific move or method you described in your power tags. I kind of think, what is the most problematic flaw in your technique? I might just be like self-taught. Because like everything else about this character is so heavily focused on like maintaining stuff for this potion shop, right? And so like this could just be like a hobby in your spare time. So you don't necessarily have formal training in it. I think that'll work. right? Now, what do we title this thing? The Tinkerer. No, that's the name of a Marvel villain. I don't think we can just call it that. What could we call her? Let's see. Man, all of my cleverness has left me ever since Potion Seller's Strongest Potion ran through my brain. Uh, let's see. You know what? Actually, Goblin Gadgeteer I feel like works. Yeah, that will be my weakness. You hit me with a funny enough meme, and it will absolutely ruin my train of thought. Also, we need an identity for this. I totally forgot about the identity. Let's see, what are the ideas? A doctrine, conviction, or attitude that has become ingrained in you due to your training. The goal or purpose for which you started your training. Opinions you hold on your peers and competitors. Okay, I've actually got an idea for this one. There's no problem I can't solve. That seems fitting. So, there we go. 3 out of 4. Taken care of. This one actually, I think, went a little faster. Anyway, let's go ahead and save this out. Broto. And 1 second. I didn't do this with Cassandra. I'll go back and rename it after I'm done because I totally forgot. But I'm naming them after the Twitch username so that people can sort it easier. Because I'm probably gonna release these like 2 people. Because that's what I did with the Monster of the Week one. Is I at least made sure everyone who was involved in the video was linked to the character sheet. And again, we don't need to worry about improvements. So I think that this one is done. So, on to our final one of tonight. This one I've been excited about. This is Rui Small Bird. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with the RPG Thirsty Sword Lesbians. She did a hack of the game called Toxic Sword Lesbians, which, first off, added Toxic Yuri to a game that is about Yuri, and also fixed every single problem I had with the game by making it about Toxic Yuri. Yes. Every single problem I had with Thirsty Sword Lesbians was fixed by making the game about Toxic Yuri. I did not know that was possible, but yes, she made that hack. This is her. She's a VTuber. Anyway, so what did she say? Lore doesn't have lore so much as a vague running bit about being an eldritch entity with questionable relationship to reality who is also a writer. So, yeah, that is who we're ending on. So this is Small Bird. Actually, one moment. I can figure out the Twitch username real quick. Also, I totally forgot. I'm supposed to be yeah, Hand of the Author personified. Very Round Bird. I totally forgot to give shoutouts to everyone along the way. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. This is going to take a few minutes, but there's a timer on it, so we're not going to be able to just get through everyone right away, but we'll work through them as we can. So anyway, yes. Vague running bit about being an eldritch entity with questionable relationship to reality who's also a writer. So, Logos, writer. Mythos, Eldritch horror. Anyway, so our theme, we need to come up with a theme. I actually didn't give as much thought to what her themes could be. Though I did, there's a character in the pre-gens called Declan Lestrange. Lestrange is a dubious antiques dealer and gunslinger, has been around long enough to know his way through the world, and he began living in a dream. This is why I thought it was maybe a fitting thing, is because he has a questionable grasp with reality himself, sensing limitless possibilities that sometimes manifest through him, although he can't control it. So I kind of thought that I'd work off basically the idea of his mythos, which is she said that fits kinda. Jenna Moran, Deceiver Stick. So I actually don't know who Jenna Moran is now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, the game designer. Okay, never mind. I've heard of this person. Actually, wait, am I following her on Tumblr? I think I am, yeah. Anyway. So what was I saying? Sorry, I got completely sidetracked by remembering who Jenna Moran was. Um So, I guess let's get to work. We know we've got training, right, as a writer. Let's start with that because we know we have that. And that's just going to be this exact same theme book right here, training. What do you do or know best? And I think it's kind of implied that it's creative writing. Creative writing. What is this? Sorry, I've got a closed Tumblr. I had it open to check her page to make sure I was following her, and then I left it open, and there was some strange thing on screen. As happens, you know. It is Tumblr. Anyway, so creative writing. Within your field of expertise, at which specific skill or subject do you excel? What other tangent field have you ventured into? What move, method, maneuver, habit or trick did you pick up? What quality or trait did your training foster? Teacher, trainer, fellow trainee. What piece of equipment related to your training do you normally have access to? Let's see. Within your field of expertise, which specific skill or subject do you excel? Let's say the strange and unexplainable. Or the strange and bizarre is probably a better fit. Can I do the next shout out? Yes, there we go. Let's see. What piece of equipment related to your training do you normally have access to? A high quality pen. Writing utensils. So those are our powers. What's our weakness? What is the most problematic flaw in your technique? I think I think we can kind of go off of, let's say, D. And then tied to our strange and bizarre. Loose grasp on reality. That gives us a pretty good weakness, I think. Now, let's see. Onto our identity. A doctrine, conviction, or attitude that has become ingrained into you. Goal or purpose for which you started your training. Opinions you hold on peers and competitors. Let's see. I write what I see. What I see is questionable. There we go. Already kind of getting into the loose grasp on reality. I write what I see. What I see is questionable. I actually think we could use a divination theme. Because like if the loose grasp on reality is tied to a supernatural phenomenon, then it could be that she's seeing things that are there but only she can perceive, right? That's a leg up in an investigation. So what allows you to uncannily know things you wouldn't normally know? Seeing what could be. Let's see, what other types of knowledge can you access with your powers? What subject is easiest for you to learn about? What items or substances serve as a conduit for your knowledge? What quality of your divination makes it especially effective? What advantage does your divination give you in a fight? In what ways have your normal senses been enhanced by your mythos? What creative ways of using your divination have you developed? How can you affect others with your power? What new frontier of knowledge lies at the edge of your divination? Hmm. I've got an idea. Maybe. Let's see. How can we what subject is easiest for you to learn about? The incomprehensible. And then I kind of think we could probably answer D, right? What items or substances serve as a conduit for your knowledge? My writing. But then I also think we can use that down here. In what way? No, not this one. How can you affect others with your power? I'm going to use this. Show them what I see. So this isn't just something that we're stuck with. We can inflict it on others for a minute. This is a... so we got to choose 2 weaknesses if we're going to do that. What happens when your divination overwhelms you? What can hinder or block your divination? What is the beyond the reach of your divination? What must you have in order to use your divination? Let's see. Let's see. What can hinder or block your divination? Actually, no. I think what happens when your divination overwhelms you. I think you can see too much sometimes, maybe, right? And then, what must you have in order to use your divination? She's got glasses, right? Right? Yeah, she's got glasses. Yeah. Can't see without my glasses. Perfect. Can't see without my glasses. Got that like Velma Scooby Doo bit going on. All right, so that's the only time we're allowed to do that on this character sheet, by the way. Choose a mystery for this theme. A question that your mythos wants you to explore, investigate, or discover the answer to. Are these visions real, or am I making them real? I kind of like that because that leans into we've got another theme from Shadows and Showdowns that I feel like can be used with that. Conjuration. Creating fantastical beings or objects through sorcery, by summoning them from someone's dreams, by constructing them from the environment, by opening a portal to another realm, by giving birth to them, or forming them out of one's body. So, if we can show other people what we can see, maybe we can manifest them as well. Also, I didn't name the theme. Whoops. I didn't name either of these. My bad. writer of in parentheses nonfiction for the writer theme, I think is good. And then for divination, let's see. Let's see. Seeing through. Double vision might be a good descriptor. Anyway, conjuration. So what can you conjure into existence? Crap, this one's gonna require more writing space. We're gonna have to do it over here. Other eldritch entities. Or what about like things from beyond? There we go. That'll work. What can you conjure into existence? Things from beyond. Who or what is your favorite or most useful conjuration? What other conjuration are you able to manifest? How does your conjuration fight for you or promote your cause? Uh, horrific apparitions, right? I'm not actually all that like up on Lovecraftian lore. I played like one game of Call of Cthulhu, and it was not. I didn't like it. um, let's see. What skill or knowledge, mundane or arcane, does your conjuration possess or provide you with? Um, what conjurations are favorable to your conjuring? What makes them harder to resist or banish? Let's see. Oh, we got more questions. What useful item related to your conjuring can you manifest? How do you control your conjurations? Let's see. How does your let's see. Foes. I'm gonna say for F, foes flee in fear. There we go. That's an answer. Weakness tags. What or who could obstruct your conjuring? In what ways do your conjurations get out of hand? What or who can bind, banish, control, or destroy them? What is your conjuration's greatest flaw? I think B is the answer, right? Because we don't actually understand the things we're summoning. Just dabbling with forces you can't comprehend, you know? That never ends poorly for anyone. Alright, so we need a mystery. Choose a mystery for this theme. What do these apparitions really want? I think that works. And now for a title. What's a good title for this? Maybe it's just forces I can't understand. Or beyond my comprehension. And now we got to come up with one last theme. I have not gotten more ideas since working on the other ones. I really was hoping I would. Let's see. I never actually listed off all of the possibilities, so what if I did that real quick? So, from the core rulebook, we've got, for the Mythos themes, adaptations, which are themes that, it's a very versatile theme. It's supposed to give you just, like, a wide range of, like, abilities that you're only kind of good at. Bastion is something that protects you. Divination allows you to see things that ordinary people couldn't. Expression is the core expression of your mythos's power and will. Mobility is a special way in which your mythos allows you to move. I'm getting an idea. This might be something. We'll come back to this. Relic could be something, right? A relic is basically just like you can take the power of any type of mythos or any of the other mythos powers and tie them to a specific object. So, like, if you wanted to say that you were the Rift of King Arthur, then maybe that happened to you because you found Caliburn, the Sword in the Stone, and managed to pull it out. Or subversion. Subversion is deception, sneakiness, the ways in which you are hidden from the rest of the world. Then we got our Logos themes, defining events, which are kind of just something from your backstory that is still affecting you. Defining relationship, someone in your life that is currently like really affecting you. A mission, something that you have to do. A personality, something that's like just something about you as a person that is useful. Possessions, kind of a non-magic version of the relic. So like that could just be like a gun. I've had a player who had a van where he carried around a whole bunch of tools one time. Routine, we've done a lot of routines. Y'all know what that is. Training, you know what training is. And then we've got the new ones: Conjuration, Destiny, Enclave, Familiar. Familiar is like a magic pet. It's a guardian creature that watches over you. Struggle could be a fitting Logos theme for someone who has a questionable grasp on reality. Something painful within them that is going through trials and tribulations in their personal life. It's kind of a hard. It's a playbook that's supposed to kind of resemble the noir like archetype of like, oh, this person's got vices, they got things they're dealing with, right? But it's also kind of a in play, I feel like it's kind of a risky thing to deal with, because a lot of people struggle with a lot of very real like problems that are too big for one person to solve, and like that can be kind of hard to use as role playing cues, respectfully at least. It's like using someone's questionable grasp on reality as like a whole theme of the character, that's like, oh, you struggle with this. This is an ongoing struggle for you. There are people like that, right? Like we have whole like disorders that are just like people struggle with this concept, right? And it affects them, it affects the people around them. I don't know if I feel comfortable using that for this, not for content. um Okay, so my mobility idea, though, let's focus on that for a minute, because I had an idea based on mobility, which is like kind of leaning more into the Declan Lestrange side of things. Like he's half he's half dreaming all the time, and it allows him to see infinite possibilities that he can manifest. Right, that's his power set. But what if we had an ability that was like that, called like dream walking or something, where it's like you can actually pass through to other places by imagining yourself there. Because like, I don't know, the questionable grasp on reality is part of your power set, right? You see things that aren't there. Maybe you can go places that you aren't actually, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to say that. Um but yeah, I think that's how we can play this. What is your mythos's most useful form of movement? Can be where I imagine I am. How do I say that in a simpler way? How do I need to condense can be where I imagine I am into something simpler, because that's too many words. Maybe we just call it like dream walking. I hate it, but it's maybe accurate. Hmm. I'll think about it. How do you go into overdrive? What allows you to avoid restraints or confinement? What secondary mode of movement have you learned? What style or technique of movement have you mastered? What specific harmful effects does your mobility allow you to avoid? How do you use your mobility to gain an advantage in a fight? What allows you to move others? How can you use your powers to restrain others' movements? What special resources does your mobility give you access to? Okay, I'm not sure I love that. I'm just gonna have to put it on 2 lines, I think. Can be where I imagine I am. Um, what allows you to avoid restraints or confinement? Was never there. um, let's see. How do you use your mobility? What allows you to move others? Um, I think like you could probably take anyone with you who's touching you, right? How do I say that again in a simple terms? Uh, maybe that. Hmm. I'm trying to think of a simple way to answer this question. Is like I think I just gotta say take them with me. Um, because it's like if you're stepping somewhere and like it's not where you were a second ago, and you want to bring someone with you, then you can imagine them there too. Why not? Oh, that's a imagine them there. That's how we do that. We just have to imagine them there, and they're there. That's also how the forces beyond my comprehension get here. Let's see. Weaknesses. So many weaknesses related to this. What impedes you or slows you down? What happens when you go too fast? What happens when you're caught? What residual evidence does your movement leave on you, others in the moment? Um, I want to say B, and the answer to that is that not everywhere I imagine is real. Not everywhere is real. So you could just leave yourself and a friend stranded in a place that doesn't actually exist. Because why not, right? This is a mobility. Before I forget. You know what? I'm closing you. I don't need you anymore. So we need a mystery for this. Questions about things that are hidden or inaccessible in the city. Wondering how far, how fast, or how deep you can travel. Seeking a way to outrun or outmaneuver a threat. Um, can I reach the place I dream about? So the one risk with this one is like it only takes potentially up to 3 tries to get there. If you are using your like if you're using your pursuing the mystery to advance your attention, if you pursue your mystery and it levels up your character, then you actually then you could potentially achieve your goal in that moment, like potentially, or it could be a whole like a story long adventure, like trying to get to the place in your dream. Up to you. Like your game master can help you out, but like ultimately you are the one in charge of whether or not you mark fade and crack. You are the one who determines how much you invest in your personal like mysteries and identities. There are things they can do to like not necessarily force you to take attention, but like they can invoke your weaknesses, so that will force you to take attention, right? But they can't make you like fade and crack. That's all up to you. They put you in situations where you have to make decisions that may or may not impact uh, the choices that you want to make. Now for a title, let's see what's a good title. I kind of want to go with Dreamwalker. Boom, perfect. I was honestly expecting that to take longer. And saving. All right, well, that was all our characters, guys. Oops. Thank you all for watching. Actually, you know what we could do? What we could do now that we're done with this is I could potentially finish Monster Hunter Wilds story tonight. The main story. I'm pretty sure I'm on the last hunt. We got the time, right? One moment. I'm going to switch my tracking back over to... Sorry, I just had to take the, turn off the RTX tracking, because, Monster Hunter Wilds hates it when literally anything else is using the, the graphics card. But I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, we can do this. I can definitely beat one monster in an hour. That won't be that hard. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in for the character creation portion of this stream. If you have any questions about City of Mist, I will try to answer them as I beat up whatever the hell the final boss is. If that sounds good, let me go ahead and change this back over to a Monster Hunter Wild stream. I'm going to save that for tomorrow so I don't forget it. Monster Hunter Wilds. Perfect. All right, let's go. What was I doing? I was loading Monster Hunter Wilds. That's right. This is going to take a few minutes. Please bear with me. Oh, yeah, y'all play Expedition 33. I was kind of curious about it because I saw so many people saying that it was like this unique and interesting like turn-based game with real-time combat elements. I started it last night, and do you know what the real-time combat elements are? Do you know what the real-time combat elements are? This shit is Super Mario RPG with RTX on. That's it. That's the real-time elements. Yeah, it's Paper Mario. I will not be at all surprised if I get to the end of this game and my response is, Thousand Year Door did it better. I will not be shocked at all if that is my response when I get to the end of this game. Now, I also imagine that I will get to the end of this game and be emotionally devastated, because that also seems to be a very common reaction. But, one moment. Let me... Boom. Boom. Game's loaded. Let's go. I don't have any DLC. Also, I noticed, like, after the most recent patch, they no longer show you that they're compiling shaders at the beginning, which is interesting. Anyway. Yeah, I may or may not have done some off-stream grinding, and I may or may not have maxed out every single set of tier 4 armor. Also, forged every single set of tier 4 armor. So, yeah, we're gonna go into this final hunt with the... I've been busy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we got the Guardian Arcveld Charge Blade. We got the Guardian Arcveld armor maxed out. Oh, I didn't even notice this, but it's like... It's 40 versus 36 on all the others. That's awesome. Anyway. We are ready. We are as ready as we are going to get. Alma, take me there. You're a hunter, I'm a handler. We know what needs to be done here. Each day is a decision, and all we can do is push back. Okay. Guys, I hate to spoil the ending of Monster Hunter Wilds for you, but we are kind of going to be playing through it, so I guess it's unavoidable. I hate the premise that they have set up for the ending of this game. It is the stupidest thing imaginable. And I know the plot in Monster Hunter Wilds is the loosest premise imaginable, just there to justify you and up to 4 other people, or you and 3 other people, being the most unhinged big game hunters imaginable. But like, we are about to go up against a monster that has not been seen in forever, right? It was a monster that was forged by these ancient people to defend their civilization. It turned on them and ended up bringing about the end of the civilization. They locked it in hibernation, and it's about ready to wake up, right? That is the plot that we are up against right now. But the advantage that we are going to give ourselves is we are going to, without trying to kill it the normal way first, we are going to do something that is going to destroy the environment of the entire region of this game that we've been playing in. That is our solution. Before we've even tried to fight it the normal way. That's the plot. We're not going to try the normal thing first. Look, I have to keep track of my conversation topics somehow. It's gonna awaken anyway. It's Monster Hunter. It's gonna awaken anyway. Me with the... What's the epic rant? What's the epic rant? Is this a thing that'll fit in chat? Is it about Epic the Musical? I barely know what Epic the Musical is, by the way, if it is about that. It is about... Called it. Called it. Just know. Okay. It is kind of, my only thing about it is, like, it, kind of, there's a lot of hype about it for a thing that doesn't even actually exist yet, except for a concept album. It feels like Hamilton, except worse. That's 0.7? Oh my god. And we're gonna go destroy it all. 7 point... Oh my god. This is a long rant. Holy crap. And now I'm prepared to destroy my people's way of life. It's time the Keepers see their mission through. Let's go. See, like, it's fair to like some of the songs, too, right? Like, I'll admit some of them are kind of catchy. Are you sure you want to do this? See, this is the thing that makes it stupid, though, right? Right? He's gonna destroy it. The thing's gonna wake up anyway. I'm gonna fight it. What have we achieved by destroying it? Nothing. That's the plot, right? That's what's gonna happen. We all know that's what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, I'm so mad about this. It's so stupid. Also, another rant about this game. There's absolutely nothing about this that justifies how poor the performance is. Like, these graphics are not good enough that my rendering settings have to be at absolute minimum just to play the game.
We don't have to do this. There's one other option.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we are just gonna...
Are you sure? Right. It's worth a shot, isn't it?
Okay, so we are gonna do it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we are gonna just do it this way. Okay. 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 I'm still not happy about this. But, like, this is so much better than destroying the entire region, right? This is the thing that we had to try this first. It would be stupid not to try this first. The fact that this was not our first thought... come on, man. Don't be... No. No. Alma. Alma, you... I still want you to say it. It's better when she says it. He's big. Let's get to work. I wonder if there's a Zoshia set that's been, like, hidden from view before. You know what? Screw it. Let's use the lucky voucher. Why not? I've got one. I've got literally nothing else to spend it on at this point. I'm sure I will once, like... Because there's tier 5 armor that's only available in post-game. And that's the armor that, like, you can customize. Alright, one charge. Pat missed. Stupid. I'm over here. Why am I taunting him, you ask? Because it's funny. Let's go. Let's go. Second charge. Man, this thing is not very sharp. I just noticed that. It is very strong, but it is not sharp. All right, let's get a third charge up. I'm not going to store it, but I need to have it. Heck. Is that the first time? No, second time I got hit. Wait, what did I just... I didn't do that. What the heck? Did I? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, perfect. We got what I wanted. Time to do some elemental damage. And my element is dragon right now. Wait, why am I draining it? I shouldn't be draining it right now. Or is that only when I... Oh, this is stupid. Give me the crystal fragment. But then the Dragon Nation attacked. Yeah. Long ago, the elements lived in harmony. but one of them was built stupid, so it didn't last. Why did it put my weapon away? Oh, hey, look, he's got eyes under there. What do you know? And my sword's lost its sharpness again, of course. Run, run, run. Okay, good. Okay, we got a Guardian scale. Perfect. That means we're actually getting somewhere, I think. Maybe. Nope, wrong button. Can you get the sword back out? Thank you. That's what I was trying to do. Get out of there. Get. Oh my god. I did not get out of there. Oh, I broke it. Yes. Yes. Finally. Now I'm getting what I want. Yes. Now it works. This is what I was trying to do before. I get multiple hits off a single charge now. Which means I'm going to break more parts. Which means that I'm going to get more part damage when I go back and use the focus attack again. What did he just do with his head? Got me with what? Oh, Divine Blessing. Interesting that you can... He switches up elements. I get it now. Oh, I got him down. I've still got charges. We'll use those up first. I got some Guardian blood. That's cool. I've noticed that I've not gotten any like unique parts off of him, which confirms my fear that this monster will not be rematchable. Just like the heck. No, I don't. Nope, I didn't want to do that. Nope, cancel, 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 cancel. Crap. Very rude of you to not let me finish my my thing here, buddy. I don't see any exposed wounds right now. Let's get back to... Let's make one, then. He's pulling the fire head back out, isn't he? Come on. Give me those crystals. Alright, alright. Perfect, perfect. Let's go. I really hope no one responds to that SOS flare. I really don't want anyone to respond to that SOS flare. Not that I don't think they can, actually. Because I'm in single player or online single player. Unless it took me out of it because I accidentally used it. I guess that's a possibility. Hey, could you get wounded somewhere? Please? I really want to see a wound on the boy somewhere. Come on. Please? Get wounded? Get wounded? Can I see wound? Okay, fine. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. I hate that I have to waste it like this, because now they're all... Now I'm going to lose my charges. But alas, we do what we gotta, right? Can I, get behind cover, maybe? There you are. Oh, his wings are transforming into... Oh, What am I supposed to do about that? He's built different now. Missed. Stupid. Oh, this area's exposed. I hear it. No, it's not. What am I saying? Come on. Heck. This is the big downside of bone weapons. Yes, they're strong, but you have to take so much time to sharpen them. I feel like realistically bones would dull this quickly, but also I feel like they would like not be like actually stronger than steel. And these definitely are. You ain't getting me off that easy, buddy. Nice try. Wait, does he have 4 points? Well, he's definitely got at least 3. Okay, I think the head's gonna have to be the last one. He got me off. Let's try this again. Heck. Okay, we got our charges stored. He does still have those wounds on his back, so if I can somehow reach them. Or maybe I just, you know, open the last one. Oh, hey, that one's easy to reach. Let's go. I'll go for the face. Oh, hey, there's another one. Perfect. Let's go. Bonus elemental damage. Let's go. Let's go. Check me out. I am so cool, so strong, so powerful. Let's go. You are not bringing me down today. I am just better. I really should eat some food. But I will die if I stop to do so. So I can't do it. So we're just gonna have to beat this on low HP and low stamina. Or die so that I can get revived, so that I can go drink up. Oh, is he gonna do the thing again? Can I get up on the Hydra's back while he's doing that? I cannot. I tried. Maybe I can destroy wounds this way. Maybe I should have sharpened my sword when I was up there, you know? Or I guess technically it's an axe, but you know. Same difference, technically. Not really, though. Oh, that's bad. Okay, let's go sharpen. Oh, he got me. Guys, I gotta admit, I think he's gonna kill me. He might actually just kill me. Can I drink a potion, please? Oh, you don't have to do that anymore. I'm good. Oh, what did he just do? Oh, I gotta run. I did not run. I did not run in time. Oh, getting behind him protects me from the flames. Interesting. Ah, missed. Stupid. Oh, run, run. I'm gonna try and beat him without dying, but like... Hey guys, I don't know if you've seen my health bar, but it is kind of small right now. Okay, now would be a good time for a heal. Thank you. Can I knock his tail off? Please? Please? It would be so cool. It would be so awesome. It would be so cool. If I could knock that tail off. Heck. Run. This guy has so much HP. Oh, we got the thing. We got the wound. What, you got a problem with the monster being black? Man, on top of having a stupid, like, final plot hook, the game's racist now, too? Thank you. Well, where are you coming? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to. Oh, he does have a lot of spots. Does he have a further one? Nope, this is it. Okay, this will do. You know what? Screw it. We've got an exposed one up here. I'll just go for it. Are you sure? I mean, I hope he's right. I came into this fight incredibly under-equipped. So, like, if it's almost done, then that's just awesome. I mean, I came in pretty well-equipped armor-wise, but I did not restock my potions. I totally forgot to do that. Run. Run. Thank you. Oh, I did, like, 3 flips in the air. He hits hard. I wasn't even there, dude. Come on. Let me get it. Oh my god, I got his tail! I actually got the tail! Heck. Oh, he's got lightning damage now, too? First dragon, then fire, now lightning. This dude is stacked, element-wise. I guess you could say he's got the element of surprise. Which is also what I call lightning damage. So, like... I'm out of potions. Um, so this is going to be my final stand. Hopefully it's his too. Hey, look, a wound. Let me have that wound. Heck yeah. I think I saw another one there. Maybe not. Oh, nope, there's definitely one there. Right there on his side. Let's get it. Boom. Wait, I didn't want to do that. Thank you for letting me, oh, heck. 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 Come on. Heck. We did it. We did it, guys. The final hunts. Actually, probably not the final hunt, because we got whatever goes on now for, like, post-game. But, like, this is the story. It's done. Yeah, let's go. Now I gotta talk some people into, like, doing post-game stuff with me, right? That's where the fun will be at, right? Is there anything else in this room worth looting? I don't think so. What's all this? Dragon Pod, Thunder Pod, Heavy Slicing Pod. Nope, if that's it. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not going to be streaming this much anymore unless someone wants to hunt with me. In which case, we will stream those hunts, because why not? What do you got for me? Weapon decoration. For focus, let's go. I love focus. I use so many focus attacks. Anyway. Is he having a heart attack? What's going on? Yeah, that's right, dude. Wrap your hammer. Huh? We made it. We're back. And we didn't destroy the natural environment. We saved the day without destroying the ecosystem, guys. We're not dead. Not that we were actually going to do anything dangerous one way or another. Yeah, that's right, buddy. I'm that good. That thing destroyed civilizations, but I'm just better.
You hunters are incredible.
That's right.
Chose a path that we never could.
That's because we're just better. We're built different. Built stupid. Built wrong, maybe.
It found its own way to live.
Yeah, but it was, like, really bad.
And now, it's time for the keepers to step away from duty and truly live.
Maybe even rebuild Wyveria. What's stopping you now that that dude's gone?
Thank you for everything.
Anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about, like, making a, a guild for either just for me or for Badger Trove as a whole. That's yeah, that's for hunting in Monster Hunter. Although the only problem is most of my friends don't play. I do have a few friends who play Dauntless, but not any who actually play like genuine Monster Hunter. The way that you can see the like culling and level of detail adjustment in real time is absolutely atrocious. Okay, it's really, first off, this game is, I think, easier than the other Monster Hunter games. Like, there is so much less you have to keep track of, which kind of makes certain like gameplay elements feel like just like pointless holdovers, honestly. But like, I don't think it's nearly as bad as you think it is. And besides that, if you're playing with friends, then it is like, it is supposed to be a 4-player multiplayer experience. Again, you can play alone. I clearly am doing that. It's possible to solo all the monsters. But like, unless you're just bad at action RPGs, then it's no different than just doing boss rushes in other action RPGs. Like, I never played a Monster Hunter before Wilds. I played Dauntless, but not like a genuine Monster Hunter. And honestly, I wouldn't have bought this game unless it came with my processor. Ah, I see. Well, if action RPGs aren't your thing, then yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is probably not a good game for you. Or just the Monster Hunter series in general. But like, I like it, so... I didn't know I was gonna like it, but I do. Like, again, I wouldn't have bought this game on my own, but it came with my processor, so like... It so many trials to get here, but I put up with it because despite everything, this game is fun. It is so much fun. And like, just the sheer variety of weapons, the monsters themselves, it's all... I love it. I do think I prefer the challenge level of like Dauntless, which I think was modeled after Monster Hunter Worlds kind of challenge level, which also kind of makes me want to try out Monster Hunter Worlds. And what was the other one that came out like a year or two ago? The other big one, Monster Hunter Rise. I might give them a try, just like, I know they're going to be harder than this one. I know they're going to be a lot more grindy than this one was. But like, I don't know, man. I feel like this is a fun series. Like, I didn't know what to expect from it, but it's fun. Can I skip the credits? I can. Please. Oh, wrong button. And also, because it's Monster Hunter, there's going to be expansions for it, so it's going to become a bigger game eventually. So that's also going to be fun. What the fuck am I reading?
Found the Keeper's village and unraveled the mystery of the White Wraith. They even managed to see the boy home safe. Truly impressive.
Why do I feel like he's about to start a villain monologue?
However, to learn that it was artificial life
Guardian Arkveld scoured the land for a more lucrative energy source. By absorbing the properties of those sources, it was able to achieve a higher state of living.
Unfortunately, after learning predation, it became unable to control its intake of wyvern milk. Intoxicated by the surplus of energy, it descended into madness. These were the findings of the expedition?
Yes, sir. But this report has just come in.
What's that?
Wyveria's ultimate guardian, Zoshia, awoke from its resting place. It fed off the Dragon Torch, the heart of the Forbidden Lands ecosystem, to evolve itself.
And I killed it.
Doing so, threw the weather of the surrounding regions into disarray. Cognizant of the long-term repercussions, Avis Unit made the agonizing decision to put Zoshia to rest.
No, the agonizing decision was trying to destroy the Dragon Torch, rather than slay Zoshia. No, the life-altering end would have been doing it the other way.
Just as Alma said, that hunter is something else.
Yes, thank you for the summary of the plot.
Sir, if I may, why do you think the people of Wyveria created the Guardians? For what
'Cause they
purpose
built
would they
different.
endanger themselves with monsters like Zoshia?
They probably thought there was something bigger out there.
Dishonor them with conjecture.
The details require finesse, but it seems the door is open to diplomatic overtures between East and West. The Guild, I know, is eager to open communications with the Forbidden Lands.
No. We will hold off. Should that branch be extended, it must be from them.
But why?
More importantly, this Dragon Torch, was it? Uncontrollable energy.
Well, unlimited.
Which an entire ecosystem depends.
Not uncontrollable,
To
just...
continue their research on it, and the artificial monsters.
Right.
While it's safe for now, the Dragon Torch and Guardians are in a precarious balance. There are worries surrounding its artificial nature.
My take is this. Both mankind and their creations play a role in the ecosystem.
Yep.
If nothing else, nature will always surpass humanity's expectations. This expedition was not seen through without flaw.
Are you kidding me?
But so long as there are hunters, we can handle whatever may come.
Okay, so he didn't do a villain monologue, but he did summarize the whole plot.
Alma! Hunter!
Hello.
Is it true?
Is what true?
Come on.
Oh, they're training him to be a monster hunter now. Great. I was gonna say, you better not be riding Featherball. That's my sacred. What are we looking for up here, guys? He shed his skin? Oh, there was an egg. Which means I get to grind out the hunt for Arkveld.
It's Arkveld's.
Maybe.
The will to live always finds a way.
Okay, Jeff Goldblum.
One generation to the next.
Watch it get snatched out of the sky by the baby Arkveld. The will to live always finds a way. Yeah, right? Right? That's basically just what Jeff Goldblum says. Anyway, we're back to our camp. Main mission complete. Chapter 3 is over. And I'm Hunter rank 8. Palco levels 25. So many new pendants. Alright, neat.
Good morning. Did you have a good rest?
Yeah.
The sand ship arrived while you were sleeping. Olivia has returned too.
Oh, good for her.
What do you say we stop by the command tent when we get the chance?
Okay. Problem is, there's not really time to do much of anything else. So, I think... One moment, let's check the monster field guide. Yeah, there he is, Zoshia. Dragon. Alright, anyway.
What can I do for you?
I don't know.
Anything catch your eye?
Nope, I still don't have tier 5 weapons, so... Nothing you can do for me yet. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and, save. Save and quit. Boom. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed the little bit of Monster Hunter. Hope you enjoyed the City of Mist character creation. That is genuinely my favorite RPG, especially for the character creation, and it probably always will be. Anyway, let's see if we can find someone to raid, because why not? Let's see, is anyone else? Who we got who's live right now? Let's see. My game design professor from college is playing Katamari Damacy. Let's see. I got someone doing Pokemon Legends Arceus, Nuzlocke. Someone's doing something in VR chat. Learn to play City of Mist and have a model for the next time I do this sort of thing. I genuinely don't know when that's going to be. Like, the last video I made, oh, you want to check out the Nuzlocker? Alright, we can go check in on Starlight Lime then. Sounds good. But yeah, I don't know when that's going to be. I also don't know... I'd love to do Interstitial, but I'd love to do Interstitial more with Riley Hopkins, and I have no idea when they're going to be free. Their entire summer is apparently booked, so that might not happen for a bit. But, can't do be capitalized because Twitch has the auto emote. Yeah, the sunglasses emoji. But yeah, I don't know what the next game is going to be, because first I'm going to have to edit the video for this one, which I imagine is going to take maybe not longer, but at least just as long. And also I'm going to have to determine what game to play next, or make characters in. I might do Break. Break might be fun. If not Break, maybe because Break is a lot more in line with like the D&D philosophy of character design. So it's gonna be like, you know, one of your standard character sheets. Still doable. Like, Break is the fantasy anime RPG, so like, you know. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I will see you tomorrow night for the Uno collab with That Gelatin Robot, Avalon Alchemist, and Nil Cake. Anyway, goodbye. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to start the raid. Here, we'll just do it from this screen. All right, and also, I have a raid phrase we can use that I'm posting in chat right now. All right, for real this time. See y'all later.